So, I wanted to talk about something that affects me on a personal level. Uh, but more than that, it's general too. It's the idea that there are a lot more mentally ill people today than when, I mean, 50 years ago. When I was a kid, it was rare that we saw someone who was mentally ill. Uh, I remember when I was in school, there was a young man, a boy, uh, who they said was mentally challenged or he was slow. Um, but it was rare for someone to be considered mentally ill. I did have an uncle at one time who was considered mentally ill, and it's not because he had schizophrenia, but um, he was an alcoholic, and on occasion he would have these delusions. Not that he saw the pink elephants or anything like that, but he would think that people were after him and stuff. And so, um, and I noticed as I got older, it seemed like there were a lot more people who who were having more problems like that. Uh, there were more incidences that we heard of schizophrenia and um, depression. And I know there was a lot of depression, especially during the Victorian age, and especially in women. And no wonder. I mean, women had it rough back then. Uh, in a male centered world, and the way they were held pretty much as slaves. I mean, they were just objects, uh, pretty much. They were property. So there's no wonder that we had a lot of that. But today, um, I don't know of any family that I know that doesn't have some kind of incidents or someone in their family who is either schizophrenic or bipolar or uh, borderline personality disorder or some kind of disorder. There's some kind of disorder usually. And I don't know if it's the psychiatry profession that is causing it, that is actually like because of the labels of people. Because at one time, somebody who was that we label schizophrenic now, in indigenous cultures, that person may have been a shaman because they could hear voices or they could see beyond the veil, beyond the veil. They could see something that the rest of us couldn't. And they could hear things that the rest of us couldn't. So so I I don't know if it's something that we have created, that humans have created by labeling people because they're different, or if these people are actually uh, suffering from an illness, a real illness. Uh, and I go back and forth on that with this in my mind all the time. I know uh, at one time my mother was having problems and she had stopped talking for a while. And the reason why it came out later when we were, as a family, we were in a meeting with her psychiatrist, and she said that she had stopped talking because uh, of the voices, and she thought they were angels, were telling her that she needed to listen instead of talk, that she just needed to be able to take everything in. And I and then, I mean, not too long after that, she recovered. She did. It took a while, but she did recover. Um, she was never back to her old self, where she seemed healthy and strong. It seemed like after that break, whatever it was that afflicted her, it seemed like after that, it seemed like she was so much more vulnerable. It seemed like, I don't know. And it just, it bothers me. The idea bothers me that we're labeling people without giving more thought to maybe they don't need to be labeled. I mean, I really don't know. I don't know. Um, I know in my own family we've definitely had problems, and I've had problems. I suffer from general anxiety disorder, and on occasion I've had some depression. Usually it was circumstantial, uh, but I think a lot of what I've been through has made me stronger in some ways, but weaker in other ways. And maybe because it's created more self doubt in myself. I doubt myself a little bit more now than when I was younger. When I was younger, it seems like I was full of fire, and I didn't doubt myself a whole lot. And now I do. I wrestle with every choice I make. Anyway, I want to know what your ideas are about mental illness. Mental illness, is it a true illness? Is it, are these people suffering, or are we labeling them so that it looks like an illness, so that we really just don't have to deal with them just being different on a different level than us? Tell me what you think, okay? Bye.